Welcome to Random Talk. We made it. We made it to another Random Talk, but we made it to another day. Now, today's topic, we are going to discuss Know Your Why. W-H-Y. Now, before we dive into Know Your Why, let me tell you, for those of you that are out there and you're thinking about trying something new, I don't know, I just feel the need to tell you this because it also relates to what we're going to talk about today. But if you are thinking about trying something new and you're a little hesitant and you keep thinking it, you think about it and you pause. You think about it and you pause, like you are terrified. That's why you're not getting ready to start. I'm telling you, take it from me, years of experience. I am someone who used to overthink on everything. And my mother had to sit me down. I was around 19 or 20 years old. And she said, sweetheart, you're going to think yourself out of things. It's okay to think about it. You weigh your pros, your cons, and you think about the in-betweens, but then you have to just get out there and do it. And so that is what I am going to tell you. Take it from me. You can think it through, but don't overthink it. I had to tell my son the same thing. So my son that's 24 years old, he was having trouble with overthinking as well. And so in one of my motivational videos, I explained that he's thinking about moving out of state. And that seems like, oh my goodness, but in actuality, it's really not, because he's already moved out on his own. He has been doing it successfully for 2 years. That didn't terrify him. So I told him moving out of state shouldn't terrify you either. You have to do the same exact thing that you were doing when you decided to leave home, and you've done that, and he's going to have to do the same thing. So for those of you that want to start something new, it may be a new business, it may be a new job. You just may want to get out there and start a new hobby. I don't know what it is. Don't overthink it, because you will think yourself out of it. So just weigh your pros and your cons, and then you just dive right into that thing and get it started. Take it from me. You won't regret it. Just take it step by step. Take one step, another step, and before you know it, you're going to be smooth sailing with that thing. So go ahead, get started. Try something new. Life is too short to keep overthinking things. Take that from me. Now, when I say know your why, it is the same thing of what we just discussed about going ahead and getting out there and getting started. There is nothing that you will do in this lifetime that you will not have to have a reason for why you do it. When you have a true reason behind your decision, that's what's going to give you the fuel. That's what's going to give you the determination, the endurance to keep going, to go towards that dream or that goal. Now, let me give you a real life situation. Now, for me, with my oldest son, when I was pregnant with him, I knew I did not want to have any kind of drugs in my body. It was just an absolute no for me. I did not want drugs. And so when I went to Lamaze class, for those of you that are unfamiliar with Lamaze, is when pregnant women go and they learn how to breathe themselves through natural childbirth. And so when I went to Lamaze class, the nurse who was there, she asked me, she was like, okay, why do you want to have natural childbirth? Now, see, the person you see before you today, that was not me in my 20s. I was like, what do you mean? Why? I told you I don't want it. Like, that's how I was. I was snappy at the mouth. But she said, no, sweetie, I'm asking you why, because your why is what's going to get you through the pain. And so I told her, I don't believe in it. I don't like to take medicine myself, but it doesn't make sense to me that they can tell me I cannot take Tylenol. That's for headaches, for those of you that are not familiar with it, but I can't take Tylenol over the counter, because that could affect the baby. But then you're telling me you can inject medicine in my body that will numb my body and it will be okay. Now, to those of you women that choose to get the medicine, is nothing wrong with that. This is my personal story for why I did not want to have medicine. And then my second reason was, if you get an epidural, for those of you that don't know, they, go into your back and inject this needle to numb you. You have to sign off to say it's not their fault if you become paralyzed. I'm not giving anybody that much power over my body, so I did not. Those were my reasons. That was my why. Sure enough, when I was going through labor and that pain got intense right there towards the end, I had to dive into my why. And my why was what got me through the pain. Now, let's go ahead and talk about entrepreneurship. Some people jump out and just say they want to start a job, or they not start a job, they want to start a business. and they don't really have a why. And that's why you see them fail. Then you see other people who truly have their why. And that's when they jump into starting their business, becoming an entrepreneur. And see, when those days get hard, when that money gets low, because as an entrepreneur, you can be up one day and you can be down the next day. But as long as you know your why, you have to know your why to get you through those bad days, because you're going to have many, many rainy days. That is the purpose of having your why. Now, let me tell you something else you cannot do in this lifetime, because people make this mistake and then they become stressed out. They become depressed because they begin to compare their journey to someone else's journey. Now, take me, for instance. I'm an entrepreneur right now. It's no way possible that I can compare myself to someone else who is an entrepreneur, because we don't have the same why. We don't have the same reason behind what we are doing. So when you compare yourself, for instance, for me, I love financial freedom. Me and my son, my 24-year-old son and my youngest, who's 15, I always talk to them about financial freedom. Now, I'm not the one that if people are traveling, I love it. That's their decision. They can travel. But see, when you're focused on your why, especially as an entrepreneur, you have to know your reason. And so I know right now, traveling is not on my list of things to do because I know my why. I see people who go out and they're buying their weave, and I don't wear it, but the people that invest in the hair and the nails and the makeup, is nothing wrong with that. But why would I be envious or jealous? Because that doesn't align with my why. That's what I mean. You have to stay focused on your why. I know what I am looking for right now. I may have to struggle for these few years because I'm sacrificing. That is another thing that you have to do in this lifetime. When you really want something, you have to weigh those pros and cons. You have to figure out, what am I willing to sacrifice to be able to gain the reason behind why I'm making this choice. So stop just jumping out there making decisions. You really have to know your why. Have you ever met the people who start something, don't finish it? I did a Tuesday testimony on that. You start, you stop. You start, you stop. Those are usually the people that don't have a strong enough why. So let me tell you, when I was going through natural childbirth with both of my pregnancies, I did it with both. Was it easy? It was not. But I had my why. I had the reason that was strong enough and powerful enough to get me through. As an entrepreneur, I know what I'm trying to gain. I know what my outcome is. So I'm not comparing my race. I'm not comparing this race that I'm on to anyone else. Whatever someone else is doing, it is fine. But to keep your sanity and to continue to be able to believe in yourself, you have to know your why, and you have to stick to your why. You have to trust it. You have to believe in it, and you have to have faith. Now, you allow everyone else to do whatever they're going to do in their life because that is their life. But you have to know, what is your why? So before this random talk is over, I want you to ask yourself, what is my why? Whatever you are deciding to do, and whether it is entrepreneurship, trying for a promotion, going to start a new job, buying the house, whatever you do, always know your why. Ask yourself, why am I doing this? And if you have a strong enough reason, I promise you, you will never give up on it. That's my random talk for you today. So I want to make sure that you know that I post my Tuesday testimonies, my testimony recaps, the motivational videos, and the random talk, all here on Novelty Woman Speaks on this YouTube channel. So make sure you check everything out so you can understand what I'm talking about when I talk about it. All right, tune in next time. But until we meet again, love yourself as much as you deserve to be loved. Tune in for the next random talk.